Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Torri Buchwald, and welcome to our Wednesday night team call. This week, for our basic team business builder training, we are going to be heading into module 2 of Isogenics Business. So give me just a second here. I'm going to flip. Oops, it's right there. I just need to share my screen. There we are. All right. Can everybody see that okay? Is that a yes? Okay,
Yes,
thumbs up.
yes,
Thanks, Tom.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have the box up. And if you can't see my screen and you've got, you can minimize the people over to the right-hand side with the little icons at the top of the box where the videos are. So this week we're on business for new business builders. We're going to be on module 2. This is 2 of 6 modules. It's about creating your list and also creating your 30-second story. 2 really important points to make sure that you cover when you're getting a new Isogenics business off the ground. So moving hopefully forward, give me a second. There we are. Okay. Hopefully everybody after last week's call, which Dawn did, which was step 1, hopefully everybody has had a chance to visit isogenicsbusiness.com. If you haven't, you'll get to see it this week because we're going to be going there live in just a second. And as I mentioned, we're going to be doing in step 2, the creating of your list, which is going through who you know, who you can reach out to, who you might be able to help after having your wonderful transformation. So I'm going to switch screens, hopefully. Oh, no, there we are. All right, so we start. Can everybody see that? That I'm on Isogenics Business?
It's just a blue screen, Torri. You have to stop the share and then you have to start the share.
You know, I was testing that out today, and that's when I kind of thought, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Stop, let me flip.
You stopped it now. Yeah.
Okay, and then let me reshare it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. When Genevieve and I tested it, and it worked, but oh well. Okay, so there we are. Now, can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay. So we're on isogenicsbusiness.com, which is our main business building area. You click over to the Start Here tab, which is the second tab over. And Dawn went over last week, the step 1, use your products. We're moving into step 2. And I'm going to be covering the contact list worksheet to develop your list. This is something that you can kind of do as you're listening in too, if you haven't already developed your list at this point. I'm opening that live so you know exactly where to get that PDF from. And can everybody see that now? The who do you know?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So this is a starting list. You can also do some Googling to come up with other ideas to create lists. But this is sort of an area to say, who do you know? Who do you know out there that might be looking for a change? Who do you know, or who have you been talking to that has been saying things like, I'm not sleeping well, or gosh, I can't get these last 10 pounds off, or but nothing fits in my closet anymore. You know, that's a good product list that you can start to build. But you can also look at this from the intention of looking to build a business, if that's what you're looking to do. And then you're going to want to start looking for people that are going to help you and most likely coordinate with what your goals and values are, which we'll touch on in a minute. But things, you know, that are self-motivated or enthusiastic, really entrepreneurial, people that are going to think outside of the box, people that are going to help you grow, and people that are going to not be afraid to reach out and do things. People that are also coachable. That's a real big one. That if there's, like for example, we use the tools, we use this system, isogenicsbusiness.com. And if you're going to tell someone go there, and then they're going to say, well, I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to go create my own Isogenics business and have my own steps. Well, they're not using the tools. They're not coachable. So that's not somebody that's on the high end of deserving of your time. So you look at things like that, some of those characters, and whether or not people have integrity. Are they dependable? If you call them, did they call you back? If you message them, do they message you back? Things like that. You can also take this who do you know list and you can really apply it to Facebook or another form of social media. Because as you watch people, and wow, it's been a little bit blatant today after the election last night, I was really kind of blown away this morning with all the posting and the negativity that was out there this morning. It just broke my heart. I understand that we've had a big change and a lot of people aren't happy, but through watching what people post and how they post and the things that they put up there, you can sort of start to narrow down some of those people that you may know that you may resonate with you or may not resonate with you. So as I move down just a little bit into the second part of who do you know, this is where you start to look at where do you go during the day? Do you go to the gym? Can you talk to a personal trainer there? Or do you have a personal trainer? Can you talk to the person on the treadmill next to you? It's a little different nowadays, although Tara, I'm sure your studio was not like this, but a lot of the gyms now, people look at, like I have on, I actually have headphones on tonight. People have headphones on, they don't talk to each other anymore in the gym. So, but that still is an area where people are obviously looking to get healthier. So maybe in the locker room or somewhere else, you might be able to connect with them. Do you get your nails done? Do you get your hair done? Everyone's got to get a haircut, so that's someone to talk to. Do your kids go to school? Are you on the PTO? Do you just volunteer? Sometimes I like to volunteer at things because I like to give back, but also because guess what? I can meet people that way and start conversations. So think about your daily routine and what you do and where you go, and you'll probably start coming up with people. So the last section is sort of who do you see at the places that I covered. So once you start to think that through, as I scroll down a little bit further, you're going to get to your who do you know list. This is the idea of a list that you can use. Again, it's our tool. And you're going to put down their name, phone number, if you want. That's a little box for a phone number. I just pop them in my phone. Date contacted, follow-up date, and then what was discussed. You really have to get pretty good at, the more you reach out and connect with people, at taking some decent notes. So this is a great place to start. And this is a fairly short list. I think you probably put about 20 or 25 people on here. So just print it out multiple times and you can use it again. So I'm going to stop the share for a second and I'm going to jump back over to my slideshow. Where'd it go? There it is. I apologize. There we are. You don't want to be on that one. Okay. So we were just on isagenicbusiness.com, and now I'm back. And two things that we can look at as well are the core values list and the avatar list. I'm going to look at them briefly. We already used the contact worksheet. And the core values list, this is actually from, some of you may recognize this, this is from the avatar call that I did 2 or 3 weeks ago. These are core values of things that may resonate with you. And by going through this list, I think is what happens is you start to think about people. As you start to think about someone who's, like the word balance just jumped out at me. So I'll think of someone that I feel that's really imbalanced, and then I can add them to my list. It's another way to build that list. And also in the call, I went over designing your avatar, and these are other areas that you can look at to create that list, to build that list, to make it bigger. The more, Sean talked this evening about scarcity, and guess what? The bigger that list is, the less you have that feeling of scarcity, because you feel like you have a lot of people to reach out to. But as soon as your list is down to 4 or 5, scarcity pops in, and then you start to panic. So using all these tools will help you build a really big, robust list. And then what you do is start reaching out. And then if they're not ready, then ask for permission and then reach back out to them. So all these things hopefully will help us to build our list and get them big and robust. So once we have that list, then the next thing we need is our 30-second story. And I'm going to now pass it over to Genevieve, and she is going to cover developing your 30-second story.
Thank you, Torri. Hi, everybody. Just in case anybody's brand new and doesn't know me, I'm Genevieve Elliott. And Torri, if you can, I don't know if you're working on it already, if you can bring up the link for the 30-second story, that would be great, the 30-second story template. So my our big goal here tonight as a team, and I'll speak for myself, is really to get everybody really using the tools. So I'm going to spend some time, we're going to go over 30-second story, but I'm not going to teach you everything you need to know about your 30-second story. You're now, hopefully in a second, it's going to come up on the screen. There we go. You're going to know where to find the template. You're going to be learning more about these 6 steps. We're on step number 2. And hopefully you're going to have a better understanding as to who you have available to you to help you with this. There is a large component of us that have all worked on this quite a bit. We've been to different events that we've gotten a chance to practice them some more. And so this is your introduction if you haven't seen it yet, and it's your chance to start from here. So obviously now we're looking at what's under step 2 on isogenicsbusiness.com, and there's just a few things that I want to touch on. They've updated this really nicely. The first page and then the last page really touches. Torri, can you scroll down a bit so that I can see, so that we can all see the bubbles that are more towards the, oh, nope, just to stay on page 1. And Torri, you're muted, so I can't hear what you're saying. If you could go back to page 1.
I'm headed back there. Sorry, I thought we were going to the bottom page.
Nope. I just want to be able
There
to
we are.
There at the bottom. Perfect. Thank you so much. So for anybody that's been to events, we've definitely had this, how do I say it nicely, beat into our heads. It really is so very important. And it's compliance. So before we even get started, I really did want to take a second. Look at that one bubble. You really want to be making sure that whatever you're sharing, it seems kind of like a no-brainer, but really you want to be accurate and truthful. You want to give reasonable expectations. And again, hopefully you've heard it 50 times before. You never want to suggest that isogenics, thanks for that, treat, cures, prevents any disease. You have to make sure that you don't put any medical illness. Guys, I don't know if you know this, migraine is considered a medical term. Like you cannot put any of that in isogenics in the same sentence. So, and you can't be guaranteeing any kind of results. You can say that isogenics has a 30-day money-back guarantee, but you can't tell somebody, I guarantee you're going to lose 15 pounds in your first 30 days. It's not compliant. So right here, everybody knows about isoproduct.com. Hopefully, if you don't, it's a great resource. I actually went, isogenics.com. I don't tend to go there a lot, guys, because I just go straight through my back office. But you can go straight to isogenics.com, and at the bottom of that page, there's a little link for disclaimers. It's actually really great. So if you want to do a post on Facebook even, we're talking about 30-second story, but if you want to do a post on Facebook, or you have something that you're going to be putting in writing, it has a whole list of disclaimers in different categories. You just cut and paste and include it, and you're covered because you've included that there. So that's actually really important. We have a whole website just for compliance, isogenicscompliance.com. Okay, and then Torri, now if you could go to page 4. I know we haven't gotten into the 30-second story yet, but I just want you guys to see really quickly. It's so funny because I feel like I see it on my screen. I want to be able to scroll down myself. It actually, I'll just tell you that it gives you ideas as to how you can incorporate those disclaimers into your statements. So I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You guys can read, but getting to talking about, and just you're having a conversation, you can say, well, these were my results, and I can't say that they're typical, but, and then you can just say that they've actually done, they did a study that said that there's an average weight loss of 9 pounds over the course of 30 days. And then always a big one. I have a lot of people that will come to me and ask me certain questions about people in certain medical categories. Refer people back to their doctors, guys. We cannot claim, well, one of us on this call is a doctor, but most of us aren't. And we should not be making any claims or telling people, well, since you have this issue, I suggest you do this. You always want to refer people back to their doctors and make sure that they've done that. Okay, so Torri, if you could scroll back up to the 30-second story screen, the before, and I was introduced to.
I'm getting there.
That's fine. So I'm looking at the participants that we have here tonight. I wish I could do a show of hands. There's probably a way to do it, and I can't see everybody's faces right now. I'm so curious to know how many of you have actually used this template. So maybe even in the chat tab, just for the fun of it, if you guys just want to comment and say you've seen it before, you've used it before, you know, either through an event or even on your own, it would be interesting to see how much you guys have actually used this. So, yay. Okay, we're already getting some people saying many times I have. And if you've been to University in Action, which is the one that Cheryl just came back from, and she'll share in a little bit. They actually work on it with you there, which is really, really great, and you have a chance to go over it and over it. So I'm going to keep it really simple, guys. I'm going to give you really just the simple version, and that's one of the biggest things that I want to say to you. Don't make this complicated. It's literally your 30-second story. 30 seconds goes by really, really quickly. So you can go ahead and jot ideas down on here. But what you're going to want to be doing is being really, really keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it concise. When you talk about before, I love this. I'm seeing everybody kind of chatting, and I was going to touch on that as well. You're not going to just have one story for every situation. And we're going to get to hear 3 different stories tonight, so you guys can see that there might be one for your athletic performance. There might be one for when you got started and it was a weight loss one. There might be one that all of us are going to have if we don't have one yet, as far as income and business. So you actually can use this over and over again and adjust to your audience. So before, and you're going to keep it simple. Let's just, before Isagenix, I was a stressed out, overworked, unbalanced mom. You know, simple, that kind of thing. And again, think about your audience. Think about what they're going to be able to relate to. If you say that to, I don't know, a priest is what just came to my mind, you know, they might not really be able to relate to that. So just really try to be thinking about your audience. On number 2, I was introduced to Isagenix by, this should actually be super, super short. It should be very short. I was introduced to Isagenix by my Zumba friends, Torri and Jen. I want to share this here because we got trained on this. If you feel like, well, somebody told me about Isagenix, but it really wasn't the person, and I never even talked to her anymore, don't say any of that. Just keep it simple. You can just, this is a fact. Who introduced you to Isagenix? And just say that, you just say that person's name. Every once in a while, you might want to add a little bit of love and something to it because it's extra special for you, but still you really want to keep it brief. I've been on the products for, this should be pretty straightforward. I've been on the products for 4.5 years now. I usually say my family and I have been using these products for over 4.5 years, like, because this isn't just about me. I almost always wind up saying my family and I. That's in any of my situations. But everybody should be able to know that. If you have just gotten started, it's okay if you want to say something like, I only just got started, but my friend Tara that introduced me, she's been using these products for over 1.5 years. Like, it's okay to kind of make somebody else's part of your own, because I know that starting out, it can seem super overwhelming. I have no idea what to say. I just got started. It's really okay. Oh, that's just going to distract the heck out of me, Torri. That's cool. Torri was telling me earlier how you can write in on these things and stuff. That's really cool. So I actually feel like one of the biggest parts one of the biggest parts of this is actually 4 and 5. Sometimes you wind up combining them together. Sometimes I really do stand alone. But sorry, see, I did it. I totally thought it was my own screen and I started scrolling, so I just did something on my screen. As a result, I am now, think about the before and think about what's different now. And again, keep it really, really simple. If you start rambling, you're going to lose your audience. And again, it's why they call it a 30-second story. I actually would really like to, I'm looking at the time, and we have 3 people that are on this call that I mean, everybody can look at what's in front of them right now, and what Torri is so nicely using arrows and writing things in. I actually would really like our 3 people to be able to share their stories with us tonight. Tara, I don't know if you're going to have to unmute each person.
Who's going first?
And I know that the first one that I would like to go, and she's the 443 number, is Nicole. So if you can unmute her, I just want to make sure she's ready.
She's unmuted.
Nicole, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Sweet. Are you ready to share?
I am ready to share. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get started?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole. I got introduced to this amazing product a few months ago by my mother. I was complaining about how tired and exhausted I was because I have 3 kids, ages 8, 6, and 4, in sporting events all over the county. I work full time and manage an office of 50 plus people. And I was just, to say the least, exhausted and miserable. I started talking to my mom about it. She had been using the products for a few months herself and said, hey, you really should give this stuff a try. You know, an added bonus to this, Nicole, would also be you might start fitting in your clothes again. You know, nothing like your mom, to be brutally honest with you. I was like, sure, call whoever it is, get me the stuff I need it right now. I overheard her on the phone tell the gentleman that her daughter was interested and needed to lose 20 pounds. I was mortified. I thought, 20 pounds? I just told her I wanted to get a little more energetic. I mean, I thought I could only have lost 5 and been fine. But I started as soon as it came in the mail a week later, and I've been doing it since. I'm down 19 pounds and I am full of energy. I absolutely love it. There's not a day that goes by that I haven't used one of these products. I feel like I can't get through the day without them. I'm constantly on the go, and they have helped me immensely.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. So we're going to just keep going. And Cheryl Foster, are you, I know I saw you there earlier. Are you ready to share?
Yes. Are you able to hear me? Or?
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, Cheryl. Yep.
Okay. Okay, before Isogenics, I was in a very bad place. About 3 years ago, we unexpectedly lost our daughter. And in the months and years that followed, I truly didn't care if I lived or died. And as an athlete, I was embarrassed by how I had just completely checked out of my body and my life. It got to the point that I didn't even want my husband to see me naked because I felt so bad about myself, and I hardly ever looked in the mirror. And then I had posted on Facebook a few months ago that I was ready to make some changes. And that was when my friend Tara reached out to me and said she'd been using these products for years and had had great results, and just asked me if I would be interested in hearing more about it. And since that time, I have been on the products since the end of September. I've lost more than 25 pounds. I have a ton more energy. I'd forgotten what it feels like to be alive. And more important than all of that is I feel encouraged. And that's a pretty big thing to say for someone that has been in such a dark place. So I now believe that every human body is amazing, and with the right nutrition, that nutrition will change everything.
Okay. I'm totally choked up over here, Cheryl. Thank you so much for sharing that story and for being so vulnerable. And yeah, so what I want to say to you in this moment is, and what I want to say to everyone is when you are willing to share from the depths of your heart, you have the opportunity to really reach so many more people. I know personally that made a huge difference to me and had a huge impact on me, Cheryl. And I'm sure that if you're willing to share that story with others, you have the opportunity to have that impact. And congratulations. And Tara, thank you for sharing with Cheryl. Wow. Okay. So you guys, there's a great example of when you are willing to be vulnerable, even though I know myself, every time I do anything like this, I get nervous. I get, oh my gosh, I can't, it just can feel a little bit uncomfortable when you're really willing to be a little bit more vulnerable. It can really, you just don't know who you might actually be reaching. So you can be afraid and do it anyway. Be willing to be vulnerable. So thank you for that, Cheryl. Okay, and we have one more, and we're going to get it in just under the wire before our 10 o'clock deadline. Dr. Kathy, are you willing to share your story to finish us up tonight?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to give you a quick business story. Before Isagenix, I was an overweight and tired person and a frustrated physician. My friend Genevieve introduced me to the products, and my husband and I have both been doing them about 20 remarkable months now. The biggest transformation that I found is that I'm now a transformed and optimistic physician, and I'm part of a new energetic couple. The two of us now have not only our products paid for, but we're beginning to see the belief in the possibility of being able to retire earlier than we originally had planned, thanks to the income that we're starting to create with Isagenix and the plan that we have for that to continue. So it's a big for us. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathy. So Nicole and Cheryl and Kathy, thank you so much. And that was really great because hopefully you guys felt the different flair from each of those. And really, you guys have a chance to see how these different stories could impact different people. I personally know that Dr. Kathy has never really shared from that angle before. She usually really shares more from the, what she's sharing with her patients. And so I think she's kind of just starting to realize that she has a business story, and you really do. And that's awesome, Kathy. So very exciting. And it is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I really want to be in integrity. The thing that I want to close with is please know how many of us are here to help you with these stories, to help you work on them. Everybody on this call, you are more than welcome to message me if there's something that you'd like to go over. And otherwise, get in touch with your coach. And maybe you and your coach, it's going to be your first time together. But I'm happy to practice with you. And when you get to events, you'll have the chance to actually work on this that much more. But it really does make a difference. So thank you for your time. Torri, thank you for getting Sean for us and for your great job on talking about creating your list. And everybody, just thank you for hanging with us until 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and we'll sign off. Good night.